Hello, I'm David McTaggart, and welcome to Adopt Blast from the Past, where we explore previous demonstration projects for agriculture in the province of Saskatchewan. I work for the Northeast Agriculture Research Foundation in Melfort, in the heart of the Carrot River Valley of northeastern Saskatchewan. And here at NARF, we are a member of Agri-ARM, a network of 8 applied research farms around the province of Saskatchewan. And today we will be exploring the impact of phosphorus placement and rates on canola production. So why should we care about this topic of managing our phosphorus fertilizer when it comes to our canola? Well, in an era where the price of monoammonium phosphate has doubled between 2022 and 2023, it is a key factor to be considering when it comes to the profitability of our canola crop. So when it comes to phosphorus fertility and canola, there's some key numbers to keep in mind. And they are, number 1, what makes a phosphorus deficient soil? Number 2, what is the phosphorus removal rate for our canola? Number 3, how much of the phosphorus fertilizer that I apply will be available in the year of application? And number 4, what does my canola crop need as far as a phosphorus availability to perform at its best? So, number 1, what makes a phosphorus deficient soil? If we're using an Olsen test for extractable phosphorus, that will tend to use more on our high pH soils, that is a availability of below 10 parts per million. Now, if we're on some of our lower pH soils, we might be using a modified Canola test, and a phosphorus deficient soil using this test is somewhere below 17 parts per million. Second key number, phosphorus removal rate of canola. It varies, but general good number to keep in mind. For every bushel of canola that you harvest, you will remove 1 pound of phosphorus. And we care about this to determine whether we want to maintain our phosphorus levels or build them, or if this is a period where we're withdrawing and depleting soil phosphorus reserves. Third key number, how much of my phosphorus that I apply as fertilizer will be available in the year of application? Sadly, it's low. It's somewhere below 30% of the total phosphorus applied will be available in the year of application. And number 4, for optimum performance, our canola crop will need about 40 to 50 pounds of available phosphorus per acre. And when we're talking parts per million, with that modified Canola test, that will be in the range of 20 to 25 parts per million. And so in our presentation today, after this, I will be looking at a demonstration project that was conducted through the Agri-ARM network on phosphorus placement and rate. And then we'll be looking at some previous research to see how does our demo fit into the context of past work. So for our demonstration project, when did it happen? Where did it happen? And what did we see? This demo on phosphorus rates and placements was conducted in 2017 at Swift Current in southwest Saskatchewan, Scott in the west central, Prince Albert in the north central, Outlook in the south central area under irrigation, Indian Head in the southeast part of the province, and in Yorkton in the east central part of Saskatchewan. In these areas, at 3 out of 6 sites, we had phosphorus deficient soils based on that standard that I mentioned previously, and 3 out of the 6 sites had moderately deficient to adequate levels of phosphorus. Now, what did we look at? We had 2 factors. We looked at first was phosphorus placement, and our 3 levels there were a pre-seed broadcast, seed-placed phosphorus, and side-banded phosphorus. And then our second factor, phosphorus rate, we had a no phosphorus check, a 22 pounds P2O5 per acre as kind of our maintainer level, and then a 49 pounds P2O5 per acre as our phosphorus building treatment. And what did we see here then? When we look across the province, our site that we had a significant response to was at Swift Current. And there, relative to the no phosphorus check, the highest yield and highest stand density came from the 22 pounds per acre P205 placed in the sideband. And that was significantly higher than all other treatments. And that was then followed by the 49 pounds P205 per acre in the sideband. Now, this was the site that showed that we need to be conscious of our seed-safe rates of phosphorus. Because when it came to seed row placing, even at the 22 pounds per acre, but for sure at 49, we saw a significant reduction in both stand density and yield relative to that no phos check. And then when we look at our other 5 sites, in this 1-year demonstration, we saw that relative to that no phosphorus check, the remaining treatments had no differences when it came to their phosphorus rates impact on yield or on stand density. So just as a quick reference, in that demonstration that we just talked about, the source of phosphorus that we used was 1152, or monoammonium phosphate. So how do we see these results in the context of past work? Because when we see that there was no yield benefit to phosphorus at 5 out of 6 sites, it probably doesn't make people very enthusiastic to go out and spend money on phosphorus fertilizer. But in light of that, that doesn't mean that we should deplete our soils of available phosphorus. So let's talk about this. What did these results teach us? Well, first off, particularly at Swift Current, it showed that we need to be mindful of our seed-safe rates of phosphorus with our canola, which is around that 25 pounds P205 per acre. But seed-safe rates, keep in mind, are impacted by what type of drill you're using for the seed bed utilization, the soil texture, the temperature, the moisture, and soil organic matter, just to name a few factors. But there still is value to placing some of that phosphorus in the seed row, because phosphorus is relatively immobile, so it doesn't move very far in the soil. So by placing a safe rate very close to that canola seed, once it becomes a seedling, that's the stage where it's taking up the most phosphorus early in the growing season. So having that close by means that that phosphorus will be accessible. But if we need to apply a higher rate of phos, where should it go? Well, as we saw in these results, we can put it in the sideband, and there won't be a significant decrease in yield versus if we put it in the seed row. Or if we, for convenience purposes, trying to mitigate how much you're refilling at seeding time, phosphorus can go down at other phases of your crop rotation to help build that overall soil phosphorus level. Now that builds us into the point of, we really didn't see much of a response at a lot of these sites. So does that mean that we don't need to apply very much phosphorus fertilizer? Well, not really. When we back out and look at multi-year studies over the long term, it has been shown that it does pay to maintain your phosphorus levels in the soil at a range that your crops need. And that is in balance with the crop's nutritional demands for other nutrients, both our macros and our micros. And so if we have been regularly depleting our soils of phosphorus up until now, in our current growing season, we'll be leaving yield on the table that we could have otherwise been able to capture. So hopefully that you found this video informative for your farming operation. And if you're hungry for some more information or looking for next steps, where can you go next? Well, your agronomist is a great person to talk to when it comes to how can we manage phosphorus fertilizer on your operation. Also, your Provincial Ministry of Agriculture is a great starting point, either through their staff or through online resources, in addition to your university near you, your trusted ag publication, the Canola Council of Canada, or your local applied research group. So from all of us here at the Northeast Ag Research Foundation, thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you later.